In the quiet afternoon hours of Wednesday, the skyline of the Tai Po district in Hong Kong suddenly shifted from calm to catastrophic as thick smoke and fierce flames erupted at the Wang Fuk Court residential estate. The fire began shortly after 2:50 p.m. and rapidly escalated into a devastating incident that engulfed multiple high-rise buildings covered in bamboo scaffolding due to renovation work. What started as a small ignition quickly transformed into an uncontrollable blaze that raced upward along the exterior structures and spread into apartments housing thousands of residents. When the first firefighting teams arrived, the flames had already consumed large portions of the scaffolding and begun breaking into homes on several floors. The affected buildings were 31 stories tall and contained close to 2,000 rental units. Many residents were elderly or had limited mobility, making evacuation extremely difficult. Panic spread as families tried to escape through thick, smoke-filled corridors, while others became trapped on upper floors. Witnesses described hearing desperate cries for help from windows and balconies as the fire gained strength. Allegations emerged that fire alarms inside the blocks did not activate in time. Several residents reported they were warned only by neighbors shouting or by guards running from floor to floor. Those precious lost minutes allowed the fire to intensify further and made evacuation more chaotic. A distraught 71-year-old man stood crying in the street, insisting that his wife was still inside one of the burning towers. Many others waited helplessly outside with no idea whether their loved ones had escaped. Authorities raised the incident to level 5, the highest fire alert classification in Hong Kong, as crews battled towering flames and showers of burning debris. More than 100 fire engines, rescue trucks, and ambulances were deployed. Ladder platforms struggled to reach the upper floors as the intense heat forced firefighters to retreat repeatedly. Bamboo scaffolding collapsed in sections, scattering flaming pieces across nearby roads and adding further hazards for rescue workers. By early evening, reports confirmed that at least 13 people had lost their lives, including one firefighter who entered the structure attempting to rescue trapped residents. Many more were injured with severe burns, smoke inhalation, or trauma. Dozens were transported to nearby hospitals, while nearly 700 residents were evacuated to temporary shelters. The surrounding streets filled with people clutching small bags of belongings, blankets, or nothing at all. Some cried openly, while others stared in shock at the burning towers that only hours earlier had been their homes. Traffic around the district came to a standstill as major roads were closed. Emergency vehicles lined the streets and crowds gathered on pedestrian bridges, watching as flames consumed apartments and smoke billowed into the evening sky. Burning fragments fell from high floors, igniting small fires on the ground that crews had to extinguish quickly. Police established wide safety zones to prevent bystanders from approaching the unstable buildings. Early indications suggested that the bamboo scaffolding played a major role in the rapid spread of the fire. The structure, dry and highly flammable, may have acted like a sprawling fuse that carried flames upward and outward. The use of such scaffolding in dense residential renovation projects is now under intense scrutiny.
Ayun guys, so yung sunog. Usok pa rin. Ayun.
Questions are already being raised about safety compliance, inspection procedures, and whether residents were adequately protected during ongoing construction. Inside community centers, volunteers prepared water, warm meals, and blankets for the displaced families. Charities began organizing hotlines and temporary support for those who had lost their homes. Many residents expressed fear and uncertainty about the future. Some wondered where they would sleep the next night, whether they would ever recover their belongings, or what would happen to relatives still missing. The psychological impact was profound as neighbors comforted each other and shared accounts of their escape. Fire crews continued operations deep into the night, extinguishing hotspots, searching damaged floors, and assessing structural risks. Officials promised full investigations and pledged support for victims, including temporary housing and medical assistance.
已經紅晒，所有棟已經全部燒到紅晒。
However, the emotional scars left on the community will not heal quickly. For many, the sight of their burning homes and the sound of collapsing scaffolding will remain etched in memory long after the flames have died out. Hong Kong now faces a moment of reflection. A city known for its towering skyline and densely packed estates must confront urgent questions about safety, building standards, and emergency readiness. As smoke slowly clears from the Tai Po district, the true toll of the disaster becomes painfully visible. Lives were lost, families displaced, and entire buildings left uninhabitable. The community begins a long recovery while hoping that such a tragedy will never be repeated.
Wait.
But there's fire.
Big old lady.
So I did that.